September 2024 is here, and it's time to look at what the top 5 products are to invest in right now. We still have a couple of sets that are going to be coming out this year, such as Stellar Crown as well as Surging Sparks, so do save your money. But for today, we will be looking at what the top 5 products are to invest in right now. So let's kick it off with our first one, which is Twilight Masquerade. We are looking at TCG Player as always, and here is Twilight Masquerade. It is doing spectacular. This set has only been out for about 2-3 months now, and we're looking at 27.2% over the past 3 months. It's pretty up there for a set that's only been out for a few months. And this set does have some of the bangers in it, such as Greninja, which is the #1 card in all of Scarlet and Violet. And of course, we also have Eevee and a few of the waifu cards that are part of this set as well. And this is what's, of course, jacking the price of this booster box up. Now, you can still probably pick this one up for around 150 or 160 Canadian, which is about 110, 120 US at your local retailers. But it is getting more and more difficult. Most of the shops that I looked at have increased their price to about that 165 to 170 mark, as they are seeing that Twilight Masquerade is one of the better sets of the Scarlet and Violet era. And as I mentioned, it's due to the card lineup, how pricey the cards are, and the stock of it is running out as well. It's not as available as it was before. Will it have a reprint or a restock? Maybe it will at one point, but as of right now, this is the killer set of Scarlet and Violet, in my opinion, and I mean the data kind of shows it as well at this point. If you can still pick up Twilight Masquerade for about 150, 160 CAD or 120 to 130 US, I would add a few, because this one looks like it's going to be one of the top sets from Scarlet and Violet. But of course, we still have a bunch of sets that are due to release for Scarlet and Violet, and a couple of bangers this year and a couple of bangers that are coming out next year as well. So that might all change. Honestly, we'll be looking at some more data later on in this video, and we'll be looking at what series is due overall after, for example, 5 or 6 years. And most of the time, no matter what the booster box is, you're going to see a increase at the minimum double of what the booster box is worth. So you're not really going to lose out regardless of if you go for this or not. So for me, Twilight Masquerade is one of my top 5 to invest in this month. The next one we're going to be looking at today is Paradox Rift, the Paradox Rift booster box. So this one is actually only up about 1.3% over the past 3 months. However, it's only $103 in comparison to Twilight Masquerade, which is going for about $30 US more, which is about $45 or $50 Canadian. It's a big difference. You can pick up an extra one. If you buy 3 of them, you can almost get a whole one for free at this point. But the reason why I'm bringing up Paradox Rift is similar to what I was mentioning with Twilight Masquerade. I'm going to showcase to you what happens with sets over time, and you'll understand why I'm looking at this one particularly, because it does have cards that are actually really good in it as well. However, it's only $103. Again, Twilight Masquerade is the #1 right now, and it's not touchable by one of these guys. Maybe Paldea Evolved could touch that one, but Paradox Rift is a decent set, $103, has similar pull rates to Twilight Masquerade. It's just the Twilight Masquerade cards have been more preferred, and let's be honest here, the artwork's a little bit better. But the reason why I'm talking about Paradox Rift again, price, $103, it's really not bad. So Paradox Rift booster box is another one that I would consider investing in for the month of September. The next one is an interesting one that I picked actually. It's a 151 Ultra Premium Collection box, and the reason why I picked this one is because I actually was at Costco a couple of days ago, and they had it available for 119 Canadian, or the market value is at $142 US. So that's almost close to $200 Canadian, and you can pick it up at Costco right now in Canada for $120. Now, obviously, your Costco needs to have it so you can pick it up. It's no longer available online. I checked both the US and the Canadian side. The websites don't have them anymore, but in stores, you can still pick this up. But again, it really depends on the store that you go to and your location and if they have it available. So the reason why I'm bringing this one up, $119 Canadian is a steal if it's going for about $200 Canadian, $142 US. You can literally flip this right away. And it's interesting that this one is actually climbing. It's 20% up over the last 3 months, when there has been so much talk about the restock and the reprint. It's possibly due to the Ultra Premium Collection box just not having the reprint itself. So maybe 151 products will have it in general. We'll probably get a whole bunch of it, ETBs and whatnot, but maybe the Ultra Premium Collection boxes won't, and that may be one of the reasons why it's pushing this one up. Of course, 16 booster packs, and you've got those super nice looking promo cards with it. it's totally worth it, and $119 is really not bad, especially if it's worth $142. So for those of you folks that are in Canada and can pick this one up for a relatively good price, I would add a couple of these to my collection as well. The next product we're going to be looking at is the Silver Tempest booster box, and this is the only booster box from the Sword and Shield era that will be on the list today. And the reason why I picked this one is because it is still available at the Pokemon Center, and this is where I'm going to showcase to you why this is important. So Silver Tempest, been out for a few years now. It's a mid set. It's not a bad set. It's not the best set. It's a mid set from the Sword and Shield era, which means that it's going to be worth something in the future. There's no doubt about it. And just to showcase to you guys, it is going currently for $186 Canadian. You have a limit of 4 here that you can buy. This is from the Pokemon Center website, directly from there where I'm looking at it. And again, you can get 4 booster boxes at max per purchase, and it's going for $186 per booster box. Now, I did mention when we just started speaking about this that, you know, Silver Tempest is not a bad set, and it's not the best set. It's more of a mid set. So here I've pulled some data from the Sun and Moon era of the worst booster boxes from the era. And of course, base set, Sun and Moon base set is going to make that list. Burning Shadows is on there, as well as Guardians Rising. So those tend to be the worst of the population. And if we look at the worst one of them all, which is the base set, and this is nowhere near, Silver Tempest is nowhere near the base set, and I'm just using that as a comparison. If you were to get a Silver Tempest booster box today, hypothetically speaking, about 140-ish US, when you convert the 186 to a US, it's about $130, $140. The minimum, and again, this is just based on historical data, you're going to get double its value. So Sun and Moon booster box base set is going for $287. And I'm talking about, this is the worst from Sun and Moon. And Silver Tempest is by far nowhere near the worst from the Sword and Shield era. If anything, it's more of a mid set, and sets that are going for about $600 to $700, maybe, for example, Unified Minds or one of those kind of sets from Sun and Moon. But even if it does end up being ranked in the bottom sector, $415 or $422 US for a booster box that you're getting for about, let's say, for $140 US, you're almost tripling your profit here with this box. And because you can get the Silver Tempest booster box from the Pokemon Center at MSRP, it is a steal when looking at it from this perspective. Of course, short term, you can still make some profit off of it because it is going for about 160-ish, 165-ish US, as we can see here on TCG Player. Still a profit to be made on the shorter term, but in the long term here, if you were to buy a case, or I guess 4 in this instance, you would make a decent profit after 4 or 5 years with Silver Tempest. You just have to hold it and be willing to hold on to it. So Silver Tempest, because of all of this data, is one of the boxes that I would be investing in right now and continuing to invest in as long as it's available at the Pokemon Center, because it's totally worth it. And we haven't even mentioned the cards, of course, from this set. Lugia V, we've got the Unknown V as well. Lugia is the #1 card from this set, but there's some other banger cards in there too, some really nice art cards that may actually go up in value in the future. But the main card from this set, from Silver Tempest, is the Lugia V, and it's what's really carrying this one. And I think it will carry it into that $400 to $500 US value at one point. And the last one we're going to be looking at today is Paldea Evolved. And similar to Twilight Masquerade, this one's going for about $135, $136 US. It's been out for some time now in comparison to Twilight Masquerade, has had about a 6.2% increase over the last 3 months, and does have banger cards such as the Magikarp and Raichu as well. Actually, Raichu's making its way up there in the top cards from this set. Paldea Evolved has had the talk of reprints, restocks. We still haven't seen that, and you know, Pokemon is really gearing up for a lot of new sets. As I mentioned, Surging Sparks, Stellar Crown, and of course 2025 is going to be crazy with Team Rocket, as well as the Trainer Team set, which is going to be a phenomenal set in my opinion. I don't know if Paldea Evolved will actually have a reprint or a restock. There's just too much other things going on right now, and for me, yeah, it may still have one, but I'm feeling that it's highly unlikely that this one will. Maybe some of the other ones will because they're newer, such as Twilight Masquerade, but Paldea Evolved is starting to age. And 136, if you can get a booster box, you can still pick one up in Canada for about 165 or 170. I was able to get 2 of them for around that range just a couple weeks back. So it is available for a relatively decent price still. And again, talking about the whole thing about when a series gets a little bit older, most of the booster boxes, or if not all of the booster boxes, tend to do okay at the minimum. And Paldea Evolved is one of the better sets from Scarlet and Violet so far. That may change, of course, with all these new sets coming, but as of right now, it is one of the better sets. So those are the top 5 products that I would be investing in for September 2024. We've got lots of products, of course, from the Scarlet and Violet era, as they are a bit more affordable at this point. We do have one item, of course, that we talked about, the Silver Tempest booster box, which is still available at the Pokemon Center for MSRP and is something that you want to consider investing in. For me, I was just able to get a case of Twilight Masquerade for about that $150 Canadian price mark, and I'm super happy for that, and that was my go-to. I was also able to pick up a couple of 151 Ultra Premium collection boxes from Costco for $120 a piece. We don't know what's going to happen with that one. I took a little bit of a gamble with a couple of boxes. There are nothing too crazy. We'll see what happens. Anyways, folks, let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are on these products that I've selected today, or if there are other products that you want to add on that we may want to consider investing in. And again, if you like this content, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. My name's TRV, and we'll see you all next time.